This wouldn't be the last time a parent lunged at the perpetrator in court. Take, for example, the who is facing multiple charges for sexual abuse. Larry was a sports doctor at Michigan State University and with USA Gymnastics when police received reports for his crimes. However, during investigations, Larry had a different story.
I don't get it. Why didn't she say something if she was feeling violated in any way, shape, and form? There was no communication.
Okay. Do you ever get aroused during these exams?
I shouldn't be getting during an exam.
Right. Well, this is why I'm talking to you about this, because this young girl and her mother both observed this on more than one occasion during treatment.
If there was arousal, it's. I mean, like, it would be because of whatever. I don't know, but I'm not trying to.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
The truth caught up with him, and he was arrested. Now, in court, his victims take to the stand.
I testified to let the world know that you are a repulsive liar.
One after the other.
I am Jessica Tomashow, also known as Victim A. I was sexually assaulted by Larry Nassar when I was 9 and 12 years old. You broke and shattered a lot of girls. You manipulated us to trust you because you're a doctor, and doctors do no wrong, only heal. You are not a healer.
Now it's time for the parents to address.
And I said, "What's wrong? Are you in pain?" And she said, "Mom, I just want to go home." And I said, "Okay." So we got in the car, and I said, and she started bawling. And I said, "Tell me what's wrong." And she said, "Mom, he put his and they weren't gloved." And I said, "Chelsea, I was right there in the room." And she goes, "You couldn't see what was going on, Mom." And she said, "He hurt me." In 2009, she took her own life because she couldn't deal with the pain anymore. It'll be 10 years in March.
For this particular parent,
how sorry I am for what has occurred. An acceptable apology.
In the end, the judge gives her sentence.
I find that you don't get it, that you're a danger. You remain a danger. I am a judge who believes in life and rehabilitation when rehabilitation is possible. I have many defendants come back here and show me the great things they've done in their lives after probation, after parole. I don't find that's possible with you. Your decision to assault was precise, manipulative, devious, despicable. I don't have to add words because your survivors have said all of that. I don't want to repeat it. Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months. I've just signed your death warrant. I need everyone to be quiet. I still have contempt powers. I told you I'm not nice. Thank you. That's all for the record.
Larry will spend the rest of his life in prison. However, while this reaction could certainly be dismissed as an effect of uncontrollable anger, the same can't be said for the case of 23-year-old Quinn Bowes, who's facing charges for murder. Quinn is in court for the murder of his 11-month-old son. Quinn was found guilty and sentenced to 25 years in prison. However, as he was being led away, the unexpected happened. Jeremiah Matthew Hartley, the child's uncle, punched him before he was wrestled down by the police. Sentenced to 179 days in jail for his actions. However, while it was clear that Jeremiah wasn't happy with what Quinn did, his reaction to the sentence was similar to the case of Vashon Flowers, who was facing charges for murder. A disagreement about smoking led Vashon to fatally shoot his wife, Jamie Thomas Flowers. Now, in court, the daughter of the victim tells the court what happened.
He was irritable and said that he was a grown man. If he wanted to buy cigarettes, he would buy cigarettes. He got down on the ground and started choking my mother. Actually, I heard, "You don't have to do this, Vashon. Please don't do this. You don't have to do this." And then I heard gunshots.
But during the sentencing, London Thomas, the son of the victim, couldn't hold himself. Vachon was eventually sentenced to life imprisonment. When emotions run high in court, the actions of London Thomas and Kevin Hall leave us questioning sanity itself. This is 15-year-old James Douglas Gonzalez, who's in court for killing Edward Hall. In court, the jury found James guilty of negligent homicide and not murder. The younger brother of the victim acted. Eventually, the police were able to restore order. James escaped the attack without injuries. Kevin was sentenced to 5 days in jail. Just when you thought you've seen it all, another convict surpasses Kevin Hall's wild courtroom display. Enter Dwayne Smith, who's in court for the sentencing of Clifford Thomas. Clifford and his girlfriend were arrested for killing 3-year-old Jamela, the daughter of Dwayne Smith. In court, Dwayne approaches the stand to deliver his victim impact statement, but decided to make another kind of impact. You can see Clifford's girlfriend and mother of the child in tears. Eventually, the police separate the two men and the session is rescheduled. Clifford and his girlfriend were later sentenced to up to 15 years in prison. Dwayne Smith is a prime example of a victim acting crazy in court. However, could Dale Williams' case be considered even a little crazier? This is Dale Williams, who is facing charges for murder. In June 2017, Dale ran his ex-girlfriend, Elizabeth Pledger Stewart, off the road, causing her to crash. Dale then fatally shot her multiple times as onlookers watched. Now, in court, the daughter of the victim is ready to begin her statement, but the sons of the victim had other plans. The police had to use their tasers to bring order to the court. The session was rescheduled. This time, the victim's aunt was able to say her mind.
When we saw him, his face, we felt it was so much emotion due to a flashback of how he just killed my niece.
Eventually, Dale was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. But that wasn't all. The two brothers also appeared in court. Dale continues to serve his sentence in prison.